The rope burns through your palms as you haul the mainsail up in the dark. Rain lashes your face. Your arms are shaking. The man beside you doesn't notice. He's too busy cursing at the rigging, calling you by the name you gave yourself 3 months ago. A man's name. A name you chose the same morning you took a knife to your hair and wrapped linen so tight around your chest you could barely breathe. The sea doesn't care who you are, and right now, neither does he. You are a woman living in the 18th century. England, perhaps, or France, or Holland. The exact nation almost doesn't matter, because in every nation, the rule is the same. The sea belongs to men. Naval service is closed to women by law, by custom, by the unspoken agreement of a world that has already decided what you are allowed to be. But freedom, or desperation, or grief, or the simple need to survive, brought you here. And here means the deck of a warship, a place where one wrong moment, one careless breath, one discovery could cost you everything. You didn't become a man overnight. It took practice, the way everything real does. You studied the way men carry their shoulders, loose, wide, like they own whatever ground they stand on. You lowered your voice until it cracked with effort. You learned to spit, to curse without flinching, to eat with aggression and sleep without apology. The linen binding your chest is the first thing you think about every morning and the last thing you feel every night. Too tight and you cannot breathe through a full day's labor. Too loose and the secret unravels. You have found the exact border between invisible and suffocating, and you live there permanently. Nobody tells you that the hardest thing to hide is not your body. It's your instincts. The moment someone shouts across the deck and every man turns sharp and ready, and you turn soft, watchful, scanning for threat rather than charging toward it. You learn to correct yourself, half a second slower every time. But that's not the hardest part. The other sailors become something close to family. You share a hammock berth, 18 inches of space per man, bodies close enough that you feel their warmth in winter and their fever in summer. You share food from the same pot. Hard biscuits gray with weevils, salt pork that has forgotten it was ever an animal. You share stories in the dark, stories about wives and daughters and mothers waiting somewhere on shore. They talk about women the way men always do when they believe no women are listening. And you listen. You learn what they think you are, soft, fragile, emotional, unfit for this life. You outlift 3 of them by midday and say nothing. There are moments of genuine belonging. A sailor who shares his ration when yours runs short. A quiet solidarity during a storm when words are useless and only hands matter. You feel it. The warm pull of being trusted, being included, being seen as capable. And then someone makes a joke about what they would do if a woman ever came aboard. And the laughter swallows you whole. And you laugh too, because you have to. Nobody tells you about this part. The belonging that is also loneliness. The brotherhood you are holding with both hands while knowing you are one discovery from ruin. The ship's surgeon is the man you fear most. Not the captain, not the press officers at the dock, the surgeon. Illness on a naval vessel is common and merciless. Scurvy, dysentery, fevers that move through the berths like fire through dry wood. The surgeon comes to you, he comes to everyone. An examination is not a request. You develop strategies. Minor complaints, you treat yourself with whatever you can steal from the medicine chest. Serious wounds you minimize until minimizing is no longer possible. When a musket ball grazes your arm in a skirmish off the coast, you clean it yourself in the dark, pressing linen against the wound until you cannot tell the binding from the bandage. There were women in history who survived real wounds, deep wounds, battle wounds, and still kept their secret for months afterward. Not because the pain was manageable, because the alternative was unthinkable. Years pass, Nothing changes except you. You have earned your place. That is the truth nobody above you will ever acknowledge out loud, but you know it in your body. Every line you've hauled, every cannon you've served, every watch you've kept in a gale at 4 a.m. while weaker men found reasons to disappear below. You're good at this, perhaps better than good. That knowledge is a strange, private kind of power. It is yours and yours alone. It cannot be credited or taken or disputed. You simply know. But private power is a cold thing to hold at night when the binding is too tight and the hammock is too narrow, and somewhere on shore there is a life you left, or a life you never got to start, and you cannot write home, cannot speak plainly to a single soul, cannot grieve without performance, cannot be sick without terror. You have traded one kind of cage for another, but this one at least has a horizon. Then comes the day everything changes. It comes quietly the way the worst things do. A fever that doesn't respond to rest, a surgeon who is thorough, a moment when your body, exhausted beyond its own endurance, finally stops cooperating with the performance. Or perhaps it is someone who has simply been paying too close attention, a younger sailor who has been watching you for weeks with a look you cannot quite name. Or a moment in port when your guard drops for a single second and someone sees what they were not supposed to see. The discovery does not always come with violence. Sometimes it comes with silence, a long, terrible silence in which the man in front of you simply looks at you and recalibrates every memory he has of who he believed you were. You have no plan for this moment. You have rehearsed 100 versions of it in your sleep, and still you are not ready, because no amount of preparation makes you ready to stop existing as the person you have built. Hour by hour, rope burn by rope burn, for years. Some women in your position were court-martialed. Some were celebrated briefly in newspapers and forgotten by morning. Some quietly disappeared back into the world that couldn't hold them, carrying a body that remembered the sea long after the sea had closed its door. History did not build monuments to you. History rarely noticed you at all. And when it did, it framed you as a curiosity. A footnote dressed in breeches, but you crossed oceans. You survived what men twice your size did not. You held a secret inside your body like ballast, and still you moved. Still you worked. Still you stood at the bow of a ship in the dark and felt, beneath all the fear and all the binding and all the exhaustion, something that had no proper name, something that felt, if only for a moment, exactly like freedom.